Welcome to the first Garmin Round Denmark Race live studio update. We are, or I am now in Aarhus together with the partners in Garmin Round Denmark Race, Sailing Aarhus and Aarhus International Sailing Center. I'm in the International Sailing Center, actually looking out on the bay of Aarhus, where Volvo Ocean Race and the Worlds of Sailing have taken place over the years, and now we have a new edition of Garmin Round Denmark Race up and running. We have a start tomorrow. I will get back to that later. What I also will get back to later is the start from Esbjerg on the offshore course yesterday. We have a status from the leading boat, where Michael Møllmann and his crew are in the lead. There's a boat abandoned. There's another boat in an emergency harbor, maybe one aiming for the same emergency harbor. Then we have an interview with one of those boats, Torben Herslund. We talked to him before the race, and we are going to show you that interview. Then we have a look at where the rest of the fleet is, and finally we'll have some weather and wave information of what they are in for, the sailors on the offshore course. Just to recap, Garmin Round Denmark Race is the longest race in the north. As far as we know, it's open for single-handed, double-handed, and fully crewed participants. We have sailors from I think 6 or 7 different countries in Europe coming here. And what is special with the race is that it's quite an open rule. The boats are divided into classes due to their length, and the navigation is really open, so you can sail almost wherever you want, as long as you keep the main course around the course, which is for the inshore. Now let's take the offshore, because they are the ones sailing at the moment. Starting in Esbjerg, passing the western point of Denmark, Blåvandshuk. After that, they continue north to the northern point of Denmark, Skagen, continuing south east to Øresund and Kronborg, heading out to Bornholm, crossing the easternmost point of Denmark, Christiansø and Bornholm, before returning back on a westerly course towards Gedser, which is the most southern point of Denmark, before they head up into Storebælt and back to Aarhus, which is the sailing center of Denmark. So you can say they come all the way around. The inshore course is more or less the same, except that the start is in Aarhus, then it goes to Skagen, Christiansø, Gedser, and back to Aarhus through Lillebælt, which is Lillebælt is a really tricky place to sail, whereas the offshore sailors have an easier route back home. Okay, I'm just going to show you some nice footage from the start yesterday in Aarhus. If I'm here, not in Aarhus, in Esbjerg. Here we are. It's our photographer Tim, who was with us on the water. And I just have to say thank you for our partners in Esbjerg Sailing Club, who had made it a really nice event for the offshore sailors. Most of them were there the day before the start. That means a Wednesday. They had a nice crew dinner together, and we had the skippers meeting yesterday morning or at noon, before the sailors set out at 4 o'clock. If most of you think of Esbjerg the way I do, it's something with oil rigs and industry and stuff. But I tell you, this northern part of Esbjerg, where we sail, where we follow the boat like here, is really a magnificent place to go sailing, especially in the conditions we had yesterday. With flat water, 8 to 10 meters per second of wind from the northwest, and as you can see, perfect sailing conditions. Right. Okay, let's go to the status of the race so far. I'm just gonna switch screens here. Hang on 1 second. We go to this one, and then we take this one, and here we are. And as far as I can see, you can see me. This is where the boats are at the moment. You can see Palby Marine with the skipper Michael Møllmann is in the lead. They're sailing fully crewed on the Elliott 35 at Pure Racer. Second is the Polish boat, polished Manx. That's a Beneteau first 40.7. They sail double hand. Now I'm gonna zoom in a bit because it's a bit of quite a lot of traffic here. Now let's go back here. Yeah, as you can see, we have Midas, the GB 1000 one-off boat with Torben Herslund. They are in a emergency harbor. Choose to pull out before the wind started picking up for real. Then we have the small X99 with Esben Pilegaard. He's solo sailing. Midas is fully crewed sailing. It looks like he's continuing. I was quite certain that he would go into the harbor of Tiburon as well, but that didn't happen. In the lead of the single-handed sailors, we have Lea with Robert Cooper. It's a sloop from the 60s, a very heavy boat, but still he's doing well in these conditions. And finally, we have also single-handed Sten Wittrup in Cassiopeia, a Moody 45, a big heavy boat, but also a quite fast boat actually in these conditions. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's going to take over the lead for the single-handed sailors. Okay, enough about the status. We have, as I mentioned, we have Torben Herslund in the emergency harbor, and let's.
This is my very first Round Denmark race, so I'm very excited and humble to this gigantic course. The boat. The boat is designed. It's a one-off. It's designed and built by Gert Gerlach in the late 90s. He sailed around Funen and around Zealand for a few times and hit the record lists very well back then. I've used a few years on rebuilding it to optimize against current rules, and now just recently measured into this ORC. So yes, a highly rigged and light boat. So according to the course and the weather forecast, of course we would like 5 to 8 meters per second of wind. So that I guess tells everybody a bit about how we expect quite rough conditions.
How are you going to negotiate that when you get to the corner at Hanstholm and it looks like some 40 knots maybe in the gust?
Yeah.
What's your strategy or tactic to?
I think I will need to look into my crew's eyes and see their trust in that either we can do it or we will go into harbor. If we think it's too wild, we'll go to harbor and wait until the wind will be more suitable for us to progress the course. Rather that than risking anything.
And that is exactly what happened. As you saw before on the screen from Track, Torben and his crew choose to go into Tiburon, and they are still waiting it out there before they will continue sailing. As far as I know, they are still in the race, and we are happy about that. And we definitely want them to continue sailing. We also made an interview yesterday with the leading boat where we have Michael Møllmann. I'm just going to find that interview for you. Michael is, he can tell himself, I think, what he is.
Michael Møllmann. I'm the skipper of the Elliott 35 Supersport that lies behind here. It's called Palby Marine, from a name of our sponsors. So we just returned from England from Fastnet, which was a pretty rough ride, but we can take that in another section. So we're racing around Denmark, and the first leg looks nice. It looks a little bit tough night, 10, 12 meters. So that's slightly above 20 knots, but it will come and it will come during the night. So and it'll be pretty dark. So that's how it is. Luckily, the wind will turn a little bit left. Now it looks northwesterly, so we'll have a beat out in some nice conditions, and then while the weather increases in strength, it also turns left to west, northwest. So I actually expect a pretty fast ride up the Jutland coast. And we expect to be in Skagen somewhere within the first 24 hours. Hopefully slightly before, but it might also be a little bit after. But within 24, 26 hours. So that's the expectation for the first leg. So yeah, it's gonna be good. I mean, that's what this boat is made for. Good reach.
Thank you to Michael Møllmann, and maybe we should just go back and have a look at the tracking, because it is kind of, or it has been like Michael hoped for. He is clearly in the lead, but as you can see, he has started tacking, and that is not because the wind has turned into his face. Actually, it's because the wind has dropped. Maybe we can see that he's doing. Let's have a look here. They are doing only 7 knots, which is not much for this boat. On their way out of Esbjerg, they were doing double digits all the way, like 11, 12 knots on the flat water reaching. So what we could try to have a look at here is the weather. I'm just going to share another screen. Where do we have this one? Hang on one second. We go to this one. I need to have. I just wanted to see the weather screen once again, because it's quite interesting, I think. Here we are. We have Mikael. He is around here, and you can see they're into totally light wind, where the other guys are struggling down here with heavy wind conditions and big waves. Michael and his crew are out of the wind, and they're actually tacking now to keep the boat speed up. Let's see what will happen for the next few hours. If we go to this one, maybe I could maximize this screen so you can see it better. This is a webpage called Sejladsudsigt. It's really, really good. It's the best for Danish waters, for no doubt about that. It's whereas the big routing systems are good for doing routing on the Atlantic and the North Sea. When you get, as soon as you get into the inside of Denmark, this one is much more reliable. But anyways, let's have a look at what will happen the next few hours here. If we scroll, this is at 1 o'clock, which is now. And you can see it's really light actually up here where Michael and his guys are. It's only between 4 to maybe, in the best case, 12 knots of breeze. Whereas where the other guys are down here, it's like more like 25 knots or something like that, 25 to 28 knots in the middle wind. And what will happen is that the wind will start filling in where the back of the fleet is. As you can see now, this is at 6 o'clock tonight, where we have something like up to like 35, 34 knots of breeze. And still up here, it's really pretty light. It's only like 12 knots of wind at the most. So I'm quite excited to see if Michael and his crew are going to make it to, as they said, in 24 hours. I think they are in for some light breeze that was unexpected yesterday. Okay, I just want to mention that the wave height at Hanstholm, where the rest of the boats will pass, are expected when the wind really fills in. Are expected to be around 3.5 meters. So it's a rough ride, a bumpy ride. They are looking into for the night. Okay, now I'm just gonna make a small commercial for what we are gonna do later today. We have the skipper meeting at 7 o'clock tonight. It appears that on the inshore course that starts tomorrow at 12, there will also be a big challenge of heavy winds coming in. And of course, we are concerned for the participants, for the safety of themselves as participants, but also for the material on the boats. So on the skipper meetings, we will communicate and publish the decision we have made to try to be as organized the race as safe and as racy as possible. That will be announced at the skipper meetings at 7. It's not sure that we are going to have any video from the skipper meeting, but rest assured that the decisions made will be communicated on roundgarminrace.com, where you can read about how we are gonna handle the heavy wind forecasted for the single-handed course, already filling in Sunday noon or in the afternoon. Finally, I would like you to join us here in Aarhus. If you're in Jutland or anywhere near Aarhus, please come to the harbor tomorrow. The start goes at 12 o'clock outside on the bay, where we had last time we had a big race here was the ocean race. And maybe you remember in 2018 we had the worlds for all the Olympic classes here. So this is kind of water for famous races, like for instance Garmin Round Denmark Race. Also CLGP has been here. So come down here. We have the starting line 1 to 2 miles out, but then we have a flyby buoy right in front of the sailing center. So it will be very spectacular to come here and look at the boats. You can see the boats as they fly by, as they pass by the sailing center before they head out to the northeast to start the race. Most likely heading for Skagen to start with, but that's tomorrow. I hope you had a good time. Please remember that if you have any questions, you are able if you are on Facebook, please post the questions here during the live show. I will try to answer them as good as possible, if possible. Otherwise, I will bring them to somebody who can answer, and then I will reply to any questions later on. That's it for now. The plan is to do a daily update of what is happening on the courses, and it will probably be except for, around 1 o'clock tomorrow. That will not be the case, as tomorrow we have the starts going on from 12 o'clock, and we are going to do some live footage out there. You can see that on Facebook too. We will be out there with our phone and cameras, and of course we do some live footage, which is one quality, and then we have the drone out, and we have our professional photographer Tim, who will also have some nice footage for you that we can use for the rest of the race. We will also have pre-race interviews that we are gonna bring during the race. If you have any questions for some of the participants that you would like to ask them, please send them to us as well, and then we will pass them on and try to get an answer for you. Okay, that's it for now. Garmin Round Denmark Race 2023 is up and running on the offshore course. Tomorrow the inside course, of course, will start at 12 o'clock. Be there either on Facebook or live here in Aarhus. It's going to be great to have the bigger fleet. We expect 25 boats on the starting line. Only one start and one flyby here before they head out. Okay, that's it. Stay tuned and keep an eye on GarminRoundDenmarkRace.com for news updates and other stuff. If something happens, we will of course also make some emergencies live studios for you with when we bring you the latest news. Okay, have a good time. Until then, see you later.